Hi, everybody. Can everybody just go off their put their audio on? And if everybody could put their face up, that would be fantastic if that's possible. We would love to see your smiling faces because this is interactive. Hello. I think we have crickets. There's Tori. Hi.
Good morning.
Good morning to you.
Good morning. I'm sorry, I can't put my video on.
Oh, that's okay. I mean, I just went, hey, Brian, how are you?
Good, Polly.
Oh my gosh, I haven't seen your handsome face for so long.
Aw, thank you.
I hope you had a great summer thus far.
Definitely.
Good. I just got back from vacation. We had the first one last week when I was in Key West.
Nice.
It was good. All right. So I'm just going to say we are going to get started because we only have a half hour. As you guys all know, DTD2 is free. This is a proven system by Keller Williams and agent Tammy from Keller Williams. And it came out during, I believe, COVID. And it's all about your database because we all know that we sell, if you look at all the breakdown of where you're getting your leads from, if we can stop paying for leads or stop like praying to the Lord, like I'm Catholic, so I literally will go to St. Anthony. He's the patron saint of lost things. And I'll go, Tony, Tony, turn around. Let Polly's next clients be found. I do that all the time. I swear to God, isn't that stupid? But it works, let me tell you. So anyway, so we don't have to rely on that every time. Your sphere is where your money is. Your sphere is money, whether it's somebody that's going to be buying and selling, whether it's a referral to someone in their family, whether it's a referral to somebody outside of their family. I got a referral right before I went to Key West, and I just sold their house when I was in Key West. So it was a referral from my sphere of influence, which is fantastic. No money exchanged, just lots of happy cards, happy texts, and giving the person accolades like they love it. And we all know that the reason the people are in your database is because they have three things that you have to have. They have to know you, they have to like you, and they have to trust you. And we all know that every single person we know, every single person, well, for Liz and Tori, it's going to be more, but every single person we know knows a minimum of 12 agents. 12. And we're only as good as the last time they've heard from us or saw us. So this is a great way to just get in touch with your database 4 times a year. So Liz, can you put the slide up for the DTD2 so we know where we are this week?
Yes.
Thank you.
So, for anyone who wasn't here last week, just as kind of a quick recap, what the DTD2 system is basically it allows you to categorize your database into 13 different groups, and you call one of those groups every week. So everyone in your database gets a call 4 times a year. In addition, you're uh, texting them twice a year as well if you commit to the whole thing. So you pick every week, you pick 2 letters, you call everyone whose last name starts with those 2 letters, and that's kind of the system. And it makes sure that by doing it systematic way that you don't overlook anybody. So there's not that one person that you're like, oh, I forgot to call them. Well, you follow this, you call them because their name came up. So this is the DTD2 schedule for the year. So this week is, I don't know if my mouse comes through or not. But this week is T and J to call and H to text.
I love that. TJ. I'm sure we all know somebody named TJ in our lives. And then Brian, I did this last week. This is my cell phone. And here's my contacts. Oh, this is somebody I just called for a call this morning and I got a voicemail. So I already did that. But if you go to your contacts, just your regular contacts, okay, and you scroll all the way down at the bottom, Brian, I'm sure you're like me, you've got 10,000 contacts. But if you scroll to the very bottom, you will see like I have 4,705 contacts at the very bottom of mine. So with that being said, you have a ton, this is like a ton of people. So if you go in here at the top, then like my 4,700, I shared that number last week. But like if you just put in T at the top, and then you want their last name to be T. So when I'm going down this, I've got last name T. Wow, I really don't. Oh, I have a one, two last name T's, three last name T's. I don't have a lot of T's in my database. So that's going to be pretty amazing. And then I'll go to the J's after that. But one of the great things is like last week when I was on vacation, I did not make any phone calls. And I just will be honest about that because this whole thing is about honesty and commitment. So since I'm back, I already made phone calls this morning and I'm going to continue to make phone calls, but I like to block for me a half hour. I know people talk about 2 hour time blocking, 4 hour time blocking. I like to start small and then gauge it from there. And I mean, if you're really afraid to time block, don't do anything less than 15 minutes. I still think that that's an absurd small time, but I would say a half hour time block. So in a half hour, like that quick phone call I made this morning to a guy named Phil, he went into his voicemail and it was just a really quick phone call with a call to action at the end. Hey, give me a call back. And I like to follow up tomorrow with a text. So I'll do a text to him tomorrow. And I created a text for specifically for this that you don't have to change right now. I like to change it in a recap 4 times seasonally per year. I don't know if we can still have that to pull up, Liz.
I don't have that in the slides this week.
Okay. If you want, you can text me and I'll just send it to you and you can have my text and just change it to whatever is needed for you. But Liz, let me ask you real quick. Do you have some tips or anything for this? For calling and texting back?
So one of the things that my coach has mentioned to me before is actually if you text someone before you call them, you have a higher pickup rate. I think she was specifically talking about people you may not know. So kind of like an intro, hey, this is Liz. I'm going to be calling you in a couple minutes. Just wanted to give you a heads up. But she said when you do that, you actually have a higher pickup rate. Because it kind of gives them they know to expect you. And so it's less of a random call.
I love that as well. So also with today, was anybody on the call that was on the call last week? Anybody this week that was on the call last week? Hello? Just unblock yourself, unmute yourself. I guess nobody was on the call, but I would assume that people on the call, it's about accountability to yourself because this is free, it's great, and it's a proven method. So I hope that everyone is accountable and they're doing some time blocking and just following this easy DTD2. Um, so with that being said, I want to talk about time blocking a little bit. And in the time blocking, you just want to be respectful of their time. And everything that I've read, it really time for texting and phone calls is between 9 a.m. and 6 p.m. I know I've heard a lot of speakers say, go with your energy. If your energy is super high in the morning, which mine is, or if your energy is super high at night, go with the evening phone calls. But in more so percentages, I have really read, be respectful with the person's time. 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. What if they have a job and they're working? That's great. Just know you're going to get a voicemail or maybe you'll get a pickup and just be ready for that voicemail. So time blocking is important anytime from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. and give yourself a half hour minimum, just a half hour. And then Liz, how should the sessions look with this time blocking, do you think? Um,
For the agent's time blocked session.
yes.
So I think it's really easy as an agent to be like, okay, I'm going to do this, and then sit down and be like, oh, but I need to do this first and this first and this. Like, you have to clear all of the distractions. You have to actually do what you say you're going to do. Because I find that too, in a lot of stuff that I do, if it's something I don't really want to do, I'll be like, oh, but I need to get this done first and this done first. And at some point when it comes to time blocking, that's it. Like, if this is what it's time blocked for, then you have to do what you've set on your time block. So you have to sit down and you have to actually make those phone calls instead of pushing it back because you need to just get, one more thing or just check your email or take care of this thing. Most of those other things can wait half an hour. Because what if you were in an appointment? If you were in an appointment, those things would be waiting half an hour. So they can wait half an hour because of this time block. Also, maybe it helps then to think of your time block as an appointment. That's an appointment that you've set with yourself to go get those leads.
Also, I'm going to call Brian out here. Brian, did you take Ninja? No, I thought that you had, but this was a very long course that I took. But one of the things is they had giveaways. I think it was a Ninja and maybe a couple other things where they actually had a printout where it said, "I am working, do not disturb." And they said, place this on your door, like don't let anyone in. This is serious time, your kids can be running in. And just like this morning, I don't have any kids here, but I have 3 dogs. And I put 2 of my littles in their little dog crates beside me, and my Ring camera went off from somebody walking by my house. So my dog, Pound Dizzy, started barking like crazy. So I had to get up, let my dog out, and he's out and about. He's not barking at all. But distractions are annoying. And if you're in the middle of a phone call and a dog's barking, I mean, put your dog in a different room or make sure nobody's coming in to disturb you because the white noise can get you. Your washing machine says, do your white clothes today. And then you're like, ugh, do I want to make a phone call or do I want to go down and do my laundry? And you know what? You'll pick the laundry. What you don't want to do, you got to make the phone call. So, with that being said, I've got method 1 and method 2 of phone calls. And these phone calls are for calling your past clients in Sphere. I know that in 297 Agent, which is something that we have put together at KWGM. I didn't. I believe Carrie Mitchell, and I don't want to leave anyone else out of it. But in our 297 Agent, she has a million scripts in there that you can go in and look at. These are just some scripts that I have used from, different coaches I've had or different uh, courses I've taken. So in method 1, again, it just hi Brian, it's Polly, how are you? And then you say, hey Polly, we're good, thanks for calling, how are you? And I'm like, great, I was in the neighborhood a couple of days ago and I thought of you. How are things going with your home? And then let them talk. And we also talked about so you guys can read this, we could do it together and role play together if you want, or I mean I could just put it up, but you have to have inflection with it. And another thing we talked about last week was Ford. FORD. And that should be the basis of no matter what sales industry you're in or leadership position you're in, you have to be able to forward very quickly. And last week, we literally had a slide up and it was about care conversations. And the care conversations is kind of how you break everything down. You have a salutation, which you can see in method 1, and then you have purpose of call. Purpose of call is, hey, I was in your neighborhood a few days ago. And you know what? Even if you weren't in their neighborhood, say it. They love it. They don't know, just say it. And then, you got to forward like when you have them on the line. And Liz, can you remind us the acronym Ford, what it stands for?
Family, occupation, recreation, dreams. The 4 things that you can get that because everyone loves to talk about themselves, the 4 things that, get them to talk about. Ask
So
them about.
again, exactly. So with Ford, I don't think I've ever gotten to R or D a lot of the times when I'm talking to people because you draw them in with, hey Liz, oh my gosh, how was your family this weekend?
They were fine. Kids are a little bit weird right now, but it's all good. We're working through it. And they had a blast yesterday watching the Browns game.
Oh my gosh, I had a heart attack yesterday watching the Browns game. But see how we made a connection and I didn't start with anything other than how's your family? How's your kids? Because I know she has kids. And then she brought in the Browns game. And again, we have a similar connection. You want to pick up on that. And then as far as like your organization for O, you could be like, hey, how's your job been going? Things have been just like crazy with people maybe doing hybrid and having to go back to the office, getting to stay home. How does that look for you, Liz?
Um, it's It's interesting every year because my husband is shift work. So like I always have to juggle my schedule around whatever his schedule is, and it's not even always the same schedule every week. So, we deal.
You know what? You're good at dealing, and I love that about you. But anyways, Liz and I did not practice this, so thank you, Liz, for being, you know, off the cuff there. But then you transition back to your purpose for your call. You transition out of the business conversation and do a follow-up forward question, maybe get to that recreation, you know, what are your plans for the holidays? Are you going anywhere? Something like that. But to close the call, you also have to have a call to action. And the call to action, a CTA, is getting an appointment, always getting an appointment. But like in this method one, um, they told me where I said, that's sweet. I should have stopped by and said, hi, home is good so far. And then wonderful. Have you made any improvements to your home so far? So if you've already sold them a home, have you made any improvements to your home so far? I think that's been one of my most successful questions because again it talks about them in their house, and then they say, oh, we just finished remodeling the downstairs bathroom, blah 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 blah. But then also this is a great time if you have vendors that you can give them, hey, is there anything that you need, because you want to be able to give them, you want to become their source of everything. And we've been in business long enough, whether it's 1 year, 2 year, or 3 years, it doesn't matter, or 15 years, you've already probably have a great electrician that you love. You have a great plumber you love. You have a good handyman you love. Feel free to give that out. People loved it. And again, great. Whatever they talk about with their bathrooms, that will increase the value of your home. So again, you can talk about, is this fixing up so you can refinance? You got to look for your leads. You got to be smart about these conversations too. And then again, he says maybe refinance, maybe, and you could say buy an investment home. I have a true success story of, and these are all about successes and failures, because failures we have to grow from. But so one of the success stories I had with this is I had talked to a client who just the wife was my client. I had never really talked to the husband. She had talked to the husband about me. So on one of the care conversations, the wife had passed. So I had the husband's phone number, and on a care conversation, I called the husband and I said, hey, Sean, it's Polly Lorenzo. How are you doing? How's your animals doing? I'm very big in pets. And he was like, Polly, thank you for calling me. I know I've never met you, but my wife talked very highly of you. And I just said to him, if you'd like to go have coffee, this isn't about real estate. This is about me caring for you. And we ended up just meeting for coffee at a Starbucks. And he said, I have a lot of animals and I'd like you to come and look at my house because I think maybe I'm ready to move on in 6 months or a year. And I said, okay, whenever you're ready. He had me over to look at the house. And he had enough money where he could buy something before he sold, which was great. So we went on a shopping spree. We found a massive duplex for him. He's in one side, he's going to rent the other side. He doesn't want to be alone, I think. And then the next thing you know, he's in there, and I sold his house. And I said, how would you feel about increasing your portfolio to more duplexes? And he said, wow, let me think about that. And to this date now, fast forward, he's got 3 duplexes plus the one he's living in. So he became an investor. And you just have to remember, it's not just about buying and selling, it's also about investing. And with interest rates, it doesn't matter what the interest rates are. If you want to talk with someone about home investments, there's so many people in our organizations at Keller Williams Greater Metropolitan that can talk to you about the return on investment. And I just bought a duplex. It's not about me, I'm sorry. I just bought a duplex to start building up mine. And just to be honest with you, my house payments on unit one are going to be, on the whole unit will be like 1,200 a month, but I'm going to rent each side 1,200 a month each side. So there's passive income you can talk about with them. You know what I mean? And it's just it's scary to walk into that world, but this actually gets you more referrals. And I've had, I think, 5 referrals from Sean since that initial care conversation. But how do you guys feel about method one? I want you to be honest about that conversation because I use this conversation all the time. Can you guys unplug your phone and say something like what you think?
I think it's good because it's not like salesy. It's more of just a conversation.
And do you feel like I care about you? in the
Mhm.
conversation?
Mhm.
I think
Yeah.
so too.
Yeah.
Thank you for that honest answer. I appreciate it. It was a good answer, but thank you for that honest answer. Bad or good, but I like the good. And then if we could put up slide for method 2, and you can print these out. I mean, and do change them, do whatever you want with them. But in method 2, again, this is talking about how I love to give my vendors out to people, where it's like, hey, Tori, it's Polly. How are you? And then it's just how, good. How have you been? Great. I'm always looking out for everyone. And I don't remember if I sent you an updated list of vendors. Now, this is like if I'm doing the DTD2 and it's a person that I just sold a house to like within the last couple of years, they could still be looking to buy or sell, but I want those referrals because you always remember they used you because they know you, they like you, and they trust you totally. So again, this just goes in with like, um, I, I think everybody that's good in real estate, we come to it with the heart of service. What can we give to you? And we all have gifts that we can give to our clients. And a gift is like your vendor list. So again, great. I'm always looking out for everyone. And I don't remember if I sent you our and you can say my updated list of vendors. I've got a great handyman, an electrician, a plumber, pretty much anything you need. Did I send you that? Or are you interested in any of those right now? And the client says, no, but that would be great. We need a plumber. And that's wonderful when they get that. It just is part of the care call. And then you say, well, then I'm glad I called you. What's your email? And Liz, please expound on what our goal is to get from these people.
Um,
Like their
what are
updated name. Yeah, their updated
oh
name.
yeah, so the information that you want from pretty much everyone in your database is you want their name, their phone number, their email address, and their physical address. Even better if you can get their birthday or their anniversary, because those are another couple of great touch points throughout the year when you can contact them on those dates.
And in the conversations, they'll tell you, oh, I got married or I had a baby. And we're going to jump to, I don't know, can we put the slide up now, the relationship tracker, real quick, just to show them what we're talking about? So Liz and I, thank you for typing this up. It's very simple. It's nothing hard, but we call it a relationship tracker. So put your date on it and then dials. You want to know how many dials that you are making because we all know with 100 phone calls, you're going to get, 4 solid appointments, 2 are going to cancel, and you're going to get 2 contracts. So literally get your dials in there. But with the contacts, you want to, and this is a reminder, your name, your phone number, email, but Liz so kindly put a box with FORD. And if you can't remember what that acronym is, write it down, family, and check it off. Check off, you hit the F, organization, check off, you hit the organization, R, recreation, and it needs to be in that order. It's a proven order. And then also, Liz did the most fabulous thing where she put appointment set checkbox. That is our goal. Yes. But this is also a reminder because next week we'll talk about CRMs, but we need to take this information and update our CRM and get them on a plan that is mindless for you and powerful for them because this just helps you stay in touch. So, does anyone have an opinion about the relationship tracker? And is it too simple, or would you like to see something added to it that you think would be wonderful? Anybody?
And just so everyone's aware, I dropped the file in the um, chat so everyone can download that if you didn't get it last week.
Thank you. Brian, what do you think about the relationship tracker?
Good. And it's going to help you keep notes. Like, when you're going through Ford family, if they mention something about one of the kids, write it on there because you can put it in your notes, in your CRM, and that can be a basis of talking to them again. Oh, did little Susie through her freshman year of college, something like that. Same with occupation, recreation, and dreams. Just put notes beside them.
It's so easy because you're having conversation that is really 15 seconds. 15 seconds.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
always going to be under a minute. But in that first 15 seconds, you're already going to get clarity into their life because number one,
Right.
the overhead is a care conversation. And number two, we have our methods for reaching them, exposing them to, hey, we're a caring realtor. And number two, we have a call to action. Or number three, we have a call to action. So this is wonderful. And thank you. Do you think we should add anything to it, Brian, in your opinion?
No, I think it really it's all in what we do with it. You know, as long as we use it. I think it's a great way to, I love the appointment set thing. It's a great way to take notes when you're in the calling because you're not going back and forth in the computer and everything. Boom, it's right there and you can do your calls uninterrupted.
Okay, so thank you. I really appreciate everyone's honesty here. But in so we have method one, method two for calling your past clients, and then what we're going to put up is the I want you to offer your tools and know your local stats at this point. So this is something that I put together from just again different reference points that I've had over many years. The first one really is my source was Ignite. Um, but you want to offer online access. I should have a colon there. I'm sorry. Would you like online access to every home on the market that matches your criteria? You'd also receive instant notifications every time a home that matches your criteria comes on the market. I'd be happy to sign you up for free on my buyer instant notification system. Sometimes they're not considering buying, but you can talk to them about, oh my gosh, do you want to see the houses that go up in your neighborhood? Would you love to see what's going on in Rocky River right now? And I don't know, again, if everyone should have this. But on my library, I don't know if everyone can see where it says KW right there. Oops. But on my KW, when I pull this up, it's a KW app and it's called Find Your Dream Home. And then it pulls up the location I'm in now and it shows every house that's up. But also if I hit down here for person, I don't know if everyone can see it, but there's like a little person contact down here. And I just did this over the weekend when I was on vacation as well. But when you tap that, it says share the KW app. When you share that, you just need, again, their email. Uh, oh, Cheryl just said something. I'm gonna get to that, Cheryl Davis. But I will tell you with this KW app, when you share that app, anytime they get in to look at houses, it will give you, the agent, a notification that they are looking at houses, which is wonderful. So does everyone have that KW app or not?
I do not.
If you don't, ask Carrie how to do it or get it. I don't know. I don't remember how I downloaded or got it, but I'm sure it was from Carrie. I'm
I'll
sorry,
see if I can
Carrie.
find instructions on it and then so that we can share next week.
I love that. And Cheryl Davis said, I can't unmute, but I love the relationship tracker. It's a visual that keeps you on track for the limited amount of time that you are on the phone. Yes, thank you. I love that. But then also access offer online, but that's something that you can right then while you're on the phone, like if you're talking to them and they say, oh, we think we've been looking, I don't want them going to Zillow. I don't want them to go to realtor.com. If they talk to a agent from a different brokerage 6 months ago and they set them up on some drip campaign because they forgot you're a real estate agent, this supersedes all of that and it brings it back to you. And even if they're still looking at that drip campaign that's coming into their email, this is showing you in real time what they are looking at and it shows you the houses they're looking at. So I would say if we don't have that, we all need to get that because it's shareable and it's from you and it's free from KWGM. Can you tell you guys I like free? How to make money by not spending any money. That's like I think our motto with DTD2. But then I want to talk about objection handling. I think we're past our time at this point. We're at 10:31. So I don't know, but no thanks. I don't need any help right now. I just wanted to put that in there. And there's a lot of objection handling. Call me. I'll help you objection handle, or call Kate or call Chris. They will help you objection handling. Use your office leadership team for this as well. But also, I wanted to talk to you about MLS stats. Like, can you put up my stats real quick, Liz? So I just ran this last night. So in my MLS stats, I don't know if you guys have ever run MLS stats with just a quick CMA, and I can tell you how to do this. But all I did was put in a school system, North Canton. I just wanted to know all active houses. And if you look at this, it tells me my days on market. It tells me, let me get my sheet here. But this is amazing. So it's like for days on market, that seems to be the big red flag right now, where you can tell them this is no longer a game show. Here, the bar used to be here, the bar is now here, but it's not how fast can I sell your house. It's not you're going to get 60 offers at 50,000 over list. Your house isn't going to sell in 2 hours. And that's not my opinion. It's all data based. So know your data. And right now, just in North Canton, when I look at all the data, there's only 35 houses up. But when I look at the very end, it'll give you your averages and medium. The average day on market in North Canton is 29 days. That's a reality check during your pre-listing appointment, a reality check. Or if you have a buyer that says, well, this house has been on the market for 14 days. What's wrong with it? Oh, we already know that days on market in North Canton is 29 days. There's nothing wrong with it. This is just average day on market. So these are good talking points, and you need to have the information that's current for the times, and your message has to be current for what's happening now. And knowing your stats is just what's happening now. So does anybody have any ahas or thoughts here at the end? No? Okay. Well, we're going to get back next week. And next week, we're going to talk about ahas. We're going to talk about phone calls. Call me if you need anything else. Call me if you want to go over the phone calls. Call me if you want to script play. Call your team leaders for any objection handling. They're so good at it. It's amazing. And get that KW app to share it. So, and we'll talk about our CRM next week too. So let's make some money. Okay, bye, you guys. I
Thank
appreciate
you.
you. Have a
Bye.
great week.